I think it's going to skip it. Here we are. Welcome in, Buckeye Backers. We're here for another show. This time we got some Akron Hoban studs at the linebacker room. Brothers, Brayton and Brydon. Man, those are so close together. Does anyone ever get it confused?
Yeah, all the time. It's usually just Bub and Squeak.
Oh, you got nicknames, Bub and Squeak?
Yeah, Bub and Squeak. Yeah, Bub and Squeak.
Who gave you those names?
They just kind of like got attached to us from like family, friends, or mom and dad. Just kind of stuck with us from a young age.
Right on. So the Feasters at linebacker, feasting, getting those tackles. All right. I saw some highlights, especially on the kickoff team. That's what I want to talk about, Brydon, because he likes to get down there and get after it and start the game off right. I think your brother reposted it saying this is how you start games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So came down – you're playing a lot at linebacker too, getting a lot of playing time?
Yeah, I started
at linebacker. And, man, how cool would it be if you both end up at Ohio State? Kind of do like the Styles approach with two brothers on the team, both on defense. Man, how cool would that be?
That'd be pretty cool. You know, we love to play together. So wherever we end up at, it'd be really cool to play together.
Other than that, are you two getting recruited for, some of the same schools?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like Oregon, Penn State, a lot of those schools they already offered both of us. They like both of us, so it's really cool.
Right on. Is that something that you want to do? Is that a goal, or is it just whatever works out?
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of a goal, but like at the end of the day, different personalities fit different places. So probably fits both of us is might not be the best for both of us. So just see how it plays out, and if it plays out in our way and we get to play together, it'd be awesome.
Yeah. If it works, right?
Absolutely.
I know Cody's got a bunch of questions for you. He got everything started, got talking to you, so I'll let Cody shoot away.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so my first question, just for either of you, have you guys received offers at other positions? I know, Brayton, you've played running back.
Yeah. A lot of mine are as an athlete, so I'll be utilized in both positions as linebacker and running back. A lot of it is defenses want me to take over the captain spot of defense, play Mike linebacker, and then I'll have certain packages and special, occasions where I'll play running back or like Oregon, their game plan, I'll get 1st and 10, 2nd and 3, whatever it is, no red zone carry. So, but a lot of schools are as an athlete.
Brydon?
Yeah, so it's about the same for me. Like I'm mostly athlete because I don't know where I'm going to go like growing wise because I'm still 16. And like I've been growing up lately, I'm like 6'4" right now, so I might get too tall to play backer and go to the edge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just going through your visit, obviously saw the pictures with Coach Laurinaitis. What was that kind of like, and what was that conversation like as you guys were getting offers?
It was pretty sweet. He left the offer part to the end. It was just kind of like just like talking ball, talking knowledge, learning from him, and his one of his NFL coaches is one of my linebacker coaches, Blake Williams. So we had some stories to talk about because I trained with Blake, and he told me some stories about Laurinaitis, and we just talked like kind of that, and just kind of connected, and had a great time. And then he offered us at the end of the conversation, so it was really
very cool.
That's got to be kind of surreal because Laurinaitis has kind of changed the Ohio State linebacker room back into like a linebacker U type program and type position unit, because Ohio State's always had that kind of history of linebackers, and then it kind of dropped off a little bit, but man, it's shot back up big time just lately with Laurinaitis being in the room. It's got to feel good for that guy to come into school and be like, hey, I want you both.
Absolutely.
Speaking of recruited linebackers at Akron Hoban, we got to talk about Eli Lee.
Yeah.
Was he prying you guys to come to Ohio State? Is he recruiting you guys?
Nothing yet. Eli's one of our guys. I was real close with him when we played. But hasn't been Sam. Sam's been the one kind of. He was the one kind of recruiting this year, But other than that, Eli's doing his thing there. Got his black stripe off, and he's doing very well. So definitely proud of him.
What would it mean to play with somebody like Eli Lee or go up against Sam Greer as former teammates?
It'd be pretty cool, to play with those guys. And obviously this year we went against Sam almost, every day at practice. So it was doing it on a collegiate level would be pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, and being able to play with a former teammate, that would be pretty fun, man. You go into the room, into the grind of starting college football with someone that you already know. Obviously, Akron Hoban has athletes all across the board, so you might have that opportunity other places, but it's got to be cool knowing that there's someone that's going to experience it the year before and kind of lead you in the right way and tell you a little bit more about the program.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that he's done already? Because I mean, he's been through the recruiting process, at a high level too. Is there anything he's kind of done for you to like kind of guide you to on the way?
For me, yeah, Sam helped out a lot. Eli didn't. He committed really early, so he kind of like got rid of his process. But Sam took a little longer. So him and Rock, I kind of got to talk to and understand the process. Because sometimes it can get frustrating. It's like it can get very annoying, and especially getting phone calls 12 o'clock at night. I'm trying to sleep, and text messages all the time, and reporters and stuff. So it can get frustrating. So just those guys there kind of helped me talk me through it. It helped out a lot.
All right,
absolutely.
Before we ask any more questions, just want to get to the locker room quick. We call our comments the locker room. So just Steely Matt always reposts it on Twitter.
Yeah,
so awesome dude. And Isabella Page in here saying hi. How's it going? And then you got someone telling us how good of a student athlete.
Paul, we know Paul.
Yeah. All right, Paul. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Very cool. Just taking us through your guys' history. Former Indian Valley linebackers, very close to me. What kind of checked off the boxes for Akron Hoban as transfers?
So the biggest thing for me, what kind of led me to end up transferring was the recruitment at Indian Valley. Great school, great people, means well, but unfortunately it's not very high. One of their players there definitely could have got a lot more looks if he would have went to a very like a Hoban or like a Eds, like schools would get a lot more recruitment in that sense. But he found his home there and he did very well. Obviously, Mr. Ohio did very well. So, but for us personally, that was our key piece was just a recruitment process and getting looks and who produces guys to get out to college. I mean, if you look in the past 10 years, there's probably been over 200 kids that have gone to D2 or D1 college from Hoban.
Wow.
So it's been my freshman year. We had 23 kids go play Division I ball.
Wow.
So it was definitely a big piece of why we had to transfer. But unfortunately, it sucked leaving a bunch of people we grew up with our entire life. But ultimately, it was better for our future and for us. So.
What did it mean to play alongside a guy like Grady Kinsey, a guy that is going to go do some great things? Of course, you guys are too, but somebody that has had his success.
It was really cool. We played throughout elementary and middle school. He's actually, fun fact, he was my fullback. He used to block for me, put his hand in the dirt. I transferred up out. He stepped up into the position, and I mean, he's done everything he could with it, and he did really well. So it speaks for itself.
All right, this is right up my alley. So Riston Wilkie wants to talk about some wrestling. So let's get on it. What's happening right now at wrestling at Akron Hoban? Obviously, you told us before you got on, off a little bit right now, correct?
Yeah.
So how long have you been out?
Since January 5th, 3rd-ish, around there.
And you said you're about 6'4", so you're wrestling in the big boy class, huh? Heavyweights?
Yeah. Depending on where I land. I'm around like 225 right now, so
okay. So you can cut and get down a weight class?
Yeah, where I can bulk up. It's just
just depends on what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Akron Hoban's B team killed you. Who's Riston?
Riston, he goes to my school. He's a Ridgewood guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Yep, wrestlers.
Hey, I care about wrestling. I think wrestling
is some banter.
Awesome. I never was really into it until my kids started getting into it, but I think it's awesome. I think it's great. It's a good character builder, and it's great for football. I mean, it teaches you leverage position. So if you're a football fan watching anything football, watch the wrestlers. They always do well.
Absolutely.
No, it's a mentality thing. Definitely build a lot of strength, like mental strength.
That's one thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one thing that I've noticed. Like, you learn how to overcome, how to get about that last play, because it's just you versus the guy across
you
from you.
one-on-one.
Yeah, you have to be able to correct. Yeah, you have to be able to forget real quick and then get right back after it the next time.
Nobody's gonna help you. It's not a team sport. You ain't got no support around you. It's just yourself and coach in your corner.
Absolutely.
So I think you're absolutely right on that point, that it's more about the mental, what you gain from the mental part of it, rather than just the physical. And that's why football players are wrestlers as well.
Yeah,
do
100%.
extremely well.
Hard to break.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your guys' top schools. Obviously, getting a lot of the same offers. You got the hometown Buckeyes. What are some of the schools that are also catching your eye in addition to Ohio State?
For me, I'm still kind of starting to narrow stuff down. Like, I'm gonna take this whole month to kind of like pick like a top 15, top 10. But I would say, like, if I had to just off the top of my head pick some schools, I'd say like Oregon, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Michigan, USC, some schools like that. But I'm still like Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Florida, Miami. They're all supposed to come in like March and April, and they're gonna offer me. So we're gonna have some decisions to make. So I'm gonna have to piece everything together and see what best fits me. But I'm still in the kind of developing process, getting ready to hit the home stretch. I plan on being committed like middle of June after the officials and stuff.
Okay.
So.
Absolutely.
So you've probably been on more visits, right? Just because you're the older of the two.
Well, yeah. Well, usually wherever I go, he usually comes with me.
You both go to the same visits, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I usually just bring him and my dad. They always come with me.
Yeah.
Well, then
So
I have the same.
You're gonna be a step ahead as far as the decision.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have the same question for you, Brydon. What schools are catching your eye?
I like O State, obviously, hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State, I like Penn State a lot. I like Michigan, and I really like Oregon. So
I'm noticing a trend. A lot of Big Ten schools.
Yeah.
A lot of Big Ten schools.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, those are the ones that have been kind of reaching out and stuff. But like I said, the SEC and the ACC and stuff, they're going to start coming around. Like I said, here in March and April, they're going to come to the school and visit, talk with us.
Absolutely. As recruits, you have to take what's the best opportunity, right? Well,
exactly.
How do you find that balance between, hey, I want to get some playing time, but I also want to get a little bit of money?
Well, for me personally, like, being a high recruit, you're going to get paid. But no matter where you go, you're going to get paid. It just depends on what school has more money or not. No money. But ultimately, it comes down to like the development piece for me. What school is going to develop me best in 3 to 4 years to be able to become a number 1 draft pick. That's my ultimate goal. And then ultimately we'll see where it takes us. But the roster part also plays a role. How deep they are, who they got, seniors, juniors, redshirts, sophomores, like whoever, that'll play a bit of a role. So it's definitely a difficult process when you have to look into everything, but
absolutely
it's fun. And it'll work out. So
with that particular stance, the roster, how does that change things when you see how the transfer portal has completely changed recruiting? Like, if you see how many transfers a school takes, even though they have some linebackers in the wings, like say you notice there's some great freshmen, but they're taking in transfer after transfer after transfer every year. Does that change kind of how you feel about going into a particular situation? Or is it just, iron sharpens iron and I got to go compete? Or that can change the money thing too. If the schools are constantly bringing in transfers for, paying the more experienced guy, it's got to be hard to balance all those situations in recruiting right now.
Yeah. It doesn't really affect me as much. I'm not a scared guy. I came into Hoban having to fight for a starting job, and so I'm kind of used to it. So I come in with a chip on my shoulder, and I'm gonna do what I got to do to get the starting job, no matter what. But like you said, the transfer piece, it definitely plays a role, because ultimately, if they're taking in transfer, then they're not developing their guys right. So that definitely plays a role. Like if they're getting these guys as freshmen, sophomores, and then they're not playing them, or by the time they're seniors, they're not playing them, or they're taking transfers. It just shows that their development piece and their program's not there. So that definitely plays a role.
Brydon, can you speak a little more to that?
I don't. Yeah,
he covered it.
Covered it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really add anythanything onto that.
That's the benefit of going second, man. You're like, all right, man.
He already laid it all out for me. Yeah.
Can you speak about some what do you want in your school that you're eventually going to choose? What do you want in your college destination?
A community, like for me, it's always been like I need my people with me when I
culture, absolutely.
Like the cultured area and whatnot, and just like the community, how they react to football games or how many people show up. So,
very good, very good. Well, I'm really out of questions, Steve.
You're fresh out of questions. Come on, Cody. I got your back. Hey, first of all, you talked about community, you talked about culture. With today's game, like we talked about NIL, we've talked a little bit about playing time transfers. It's hard to find guys that balance both, but I feel like from Ohio State point of view, they seem to do a really good job recruiting guys that fit their program and guys that are going to stick around for the most part. Obviously, we've seen this year there was probably more transfers away from Ohio State than there has been in the past. But I think a lot of that came down to, playing time and money, particularly the wide receiver situation at Ohio State.
Yeah.
When guys leave that had maybe an opportunity to be back next year, but you have guys like Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis coming back. It makes it hard for guys sitting behind. But you both kind of talked about, having that mentality that you're going to earn your position. At Ohio State and some of these other big schools too, if you wait your turn and you only play 1 year as a starter, you still make it to the big leagues. I mean, you're looking at like Arvell Reese, what he did this year. Like, he wasn't a starter last year, but guess what? He's probably going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
So that's that next man up.
Yeah, there's that next man up mentality. Yeah. Some schools have that, some schools don't. A place like Ohio State obviously has that cream of the crop and top-notch college football. Every year it's going to be like that at every position, so it's going to be a battle. So that's one of the good reasons why if you transfer to a school in high school like Akron Hoban, you've already got that mentality because there's guys in front of you building every year, and there's guys probably behind you coming in. So, and I think that's why it matters to transfer to a school like that, because you already kind of have that culture built and that like next man up mentality, and I got to fight for my position every day. It's just going to be a little bit more elevated when you get to the next level.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely.
But also mention a piece like getting to the NFL is huge. And I think that's where Ryan Day and the Ohio State program have kind of separated themselves, because it is an NFL factory now, an absolute factory. If you go to Ohio State, like I said, 1 year is all it takes. And if you start at Ohio State for 1 year, almost guaranteed an NFL draft pick, or at least free agency at the worst. That's awesome. I mean, to be considered on that level, how does that make you feel?
It makes you feel good, but ultimately it's like me as like a person. I'm not the kind of guy that's like okay with just playing behind people. Like I like to get out there and actually like have a hand in everything. I like to be there, be a key piece. So I'm not okay with just sitting, sitting behind somebody and getting little reps and reps. I'm not okay with that. That's not, at the end of the day, that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to develop, get snaps early to be able to develop and get ready for the NFL. Because ultimately, 1 year may be all you need, but the more snaps you get, the better you get. and I don't want to be the guy who just got to the NFL and became a washout. I want to get to the NFL and be able to dominate. Be there to do what I need to do, and ultimately, be successful. I've never been okay with being medium, being all right. Whatever I do, I always train to be the best and everything. So that definitely kind of like sets the bar of the sitting behind people. I don't really.
That's not your thing.
Yeah, no, it's not my thing at all. Zero.
So, how much playing time did you get as a freshman at Akron, Hoban?
And I ended up starting. So,
Right.
freshman year, running back. I came in, just wanted to play. Obviously they had Ricky, they had Eli, so I was really young. Ultimately, I wanted to be a running back. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to be a running back, so didn't really think about linebacker yet. And came in and I took a senior spot. 2 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore.
Wow.
There was a kid next to me. Next man up. I was given the second string from weeks 1 through about week 8, and then by week 9 I took a starting job and ran away with it. And that's all there was.
It's funny you mentioned that. We talked to Steele Chambers, former Ohio State linebacker. He was recruited as a running back, and then they told him halfway or at the end of his sophomore season that he had to transition. Yeah. So I feel like you see that a lot with running back, linebacker. It's kind of an interesting how that kind of works. But linebacker, I want to talk about your relationship with Coach Laurinaitis. How is he has he influenced your opinion on playing linebacker, or is there talks about maybe playing a bit of running back? Is that something that you have talked about?
No, because Laurinaitis and I just started kind of building a relationship. Ohio State came in the picture a little late. So we didn't really get to build that kind of strong relationship sooner. So we're just starting to kind of feel each other out and everything in that sense. But not for them. It's been more of linebacker. But ultimately it was, sophomore year, I was, balancing between the two. And then, I kind of, heard Sealand's probably gonna be a linebacker, so I was like, okay, you know what? Let's give it a dang shot. And then I was supposed to start next to Eli sophomore year. But unfortunately we had a lot of guys transfer out at running back. So we had 3 or 4 guys transfer out. So I was literally the only running back. I was the only guy. So I just stepped up and did what I had to for the team and played running back all year long.
Absolutely.
But this year I got to play both ways. So it was very special. But I loved it. I loved it.
Cool. And Brydon, what about you? Freshman year?
My freshman year, I was behind Eli Lee and Tanner Mintz actually at linebacker.
Yeah.
And I came in my freshman year, and I'm a talker, but I back it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I just came in talking, and they liked me a lot, so they was like, we got to get this kid on the field. So I pretty much started at fullback for him my whole freshman year.
All right.
And then I started on kickoff, and then I played a little bit of D-line, not a whole lot, but a little bit of D-line because Coach Flip, that's the D-line coach. We're tight. So he gave me a couple snaps on D-line.
All right. Was there ever a time that you, Brayton, that you blocked for your brother and you just decleated someone and he talked about it afterwards?
Oh, I got plenty of pictures. Plenty.
Open up some holes, man.
Yeah, I'm already on.
That's awesome. Are you playing tight end now too?
I think I think I'll play both ways. I'll probably play tight end, and then on the defensive side, I'll probably play linebacker or DN, depending on where my height goes.
Okay. So are you being recruited specifically at linebacker right now, or is it kind of
just an athlete thing?
Both athletes.
So just until you
that.
kind of finalize where you're going to be.
Yeah, because I don't know where my growing is going to go because I've been growing a lot lately. So
yeah,
I don't know where it's going to go.
That's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet athlete. So it could be linebacker, could be DN, could be fullback, could be tight end.
Yeah, they just
wherever you fit. Cool. All right. Anything about any of your trips? Any good stories about going on recruiting visits at all? Something that stood out? Environments for the games or anything, like how loud stadium was, or
I would say probably the loudest stadium we've been to is the Penn State whiteout game.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense.
That's probably the loudest one we've been to. And then I'll say probably I'd say something that really stood out when we went to Oregon. They do their analysis meetings and stuff, and you get to see like how in depth because it was the day after they played USC, and they're like that Sunday we got to come in for meetings and stuff, and we got to sit through meetings, and like how they prepare for like the next team is like crazy. Like I didn't. Yeah. Like some of the statistics and everything that they have on run percentages, where it's going, who they got, how many injuries this guy's had, where he's injured, how he's injured. Like if I had some of those stats in high school, like I knew the run percentages, inside, outside zone, pass percentages, like it some of that would help me excel my play insanely. I'm sure every college does it, but just it was one of the things we got to sit in, and really something that really stood out at the college level.
And so someone had that prepared on Sunday for the next week already. So you came back in from Saturday's game.
USC played Saturday, and then they prepared for Washington. Yeah, and so we get to sit through that meeting and see all those stats and stuff for Washington and what they're all preparing for, what they run, who was hurt. It was pretty cool.
I want to you mentioned Penn State. I want to talk about Coach Franklin. Did you get to meet Coach Franklin? Is Virginia Tech, is that a school that has reached out?
Yeah, they've started to reach out a little bit, but they had to situate their staff and stuff first. But yeah, I had a lot of conversations on the phone with Coach Franklin, a lot of FaceTimes. So it was definitely we built a decent relationship. So when he transferred to Virginia Tech, he brought a lot of guys with him, like personnel wise and stuff. So they started reaching out once they settled down and got their staff and stuff in.
Very cool. Very cool.
So it was was this the past year that you went to the whiteout this past year?
Yeah, so my sophomore year, his freshman year, we went to the Ohio State Penn State game, and then this year we went to the Oregon whiteout game against Oregon.
Yeah, that was a pretty good game to go to. I mean, as far as like, wow,
came on overtime. Yeah, it was a very good game.
Yeah,
I got to get your guys' thoughts on the Ohio State Penn State game.
It was good. It was definitely good. It was a year ago, so you don't remember everything beautifully, but I'm pretty sure if I remember right, they picked off the ball. Penn State picked off the ball early in the first quarter, took it back for pick six, right?
Mm-hmm.
The loudest thing ever. Like that was insane. It was insane. But it was a good game, back and forth. But I definitely say that Warren carried him.
Yeah, Warren.
Yeah. He's a special player.
If they had a quarterback, I said it would have been definitely a better game. But that I don't think Alar was there.
Yeah,
hasn't really been.
No, he's an Ohio kid.
Yeah.
He hasn't been able to develop, and I think
No.
Coaching has definitely played a part in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm kind of rooting for him, like you said, because he was an Ohio kid. Wanted him to do good, just not good against Ohio State. Obviously, got to root for the Ohio boys when they make it big.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see. We covered pretty much everything. Let's get back to wrestling. Are you going to make it back for the tournament in wrestling?
We're not too sure yet. I think I have a doctor's appointment in like next week, Monday.
Yeah.
And then they're going to check me out and basically this will be tell me if I can make it or not.
So you just got to get cleared.
Yeah.
All right. When's the state tournament?
So I have to be back by February 28th so I can go to sectionals.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Well, we'll be wishing you guys the best, praying for you guys, and ultimately we hope you guys end up Buckeyes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love to see another group of brothers on the defensive side of the ball. It would be pretty cool. Obviously, it might not be both on the defensive side of the ball, but it'd be pretty cool to see you both at linebacker in the same kind of room. That would be sweet.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining us. Do you have any questions for us or anything for Ohio State fans in general?
No, I'm not. I got no questions. We talked a decent bit, so.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, get some sleep, get back to the grind, and enjoy the off-season workouts, man.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You guys.
Well, that was pretty damn cool, man.
That was pretty awesome.
And take some time out of their evening Cool. What I really like about that is I really liked how he talked about wrestling and how that
Yeah.
kind of changes the mentality, because that's a big piece that I'm seeing. You have to be tough in your head to be a wrestler, and I think that's the defining factor between how good of a football player a wrestler can be. And a lot of people talk about leverage, and specifically on the offensive line, but
Yes.
those guys, they just come in different, man.
Guys like in the NFL, guys like Tristan Wirfs,
Mhm.
Bucks offensive lineman,
Mhm.
incredible player, and he has a state champion wrestling background. So
Mhm.
I think that definitely plays a huge role.
Yeah.
But we got
And
some more to
Joshua Padilla at Ohio State right now,
Yes.
wrestling
Yes.
background. I believe his dad's the wrestling coach at Wayne High School.
Okay.
So pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool.
But we got some more to talk about. We got to talk about what were we gonna discuss?
What were we going to discuss? How about the special teams coordinator that Ryan Day hired? Because special teams has been kind of that Achilles heel for Ohio State, especially when you go, against the Indianas of the world, the Miamis of the world, the Michigans of the world in the past, missed field goals, blocked kicks, problems like that, and not getting good kickoff returns, not getting
Right.
good punt returns. That it's been an issue. And when you're playing against the Rutgers of the world, doesn't matter. But when you're playing against Indiana, Miami, Michigan, and a mistake like that happens, it's glaring. So I'm glad Ryan Day took the time to fix that, going out and getting Illinois' special teams coordinator. We just hadn't had time to talk about that. So obviously they also got some guys in the transfer portal that were part of special teams. So they probably had to known something was coming in order to join, a team that needed a field goal kicker, a team that needed a punter, a long snapper. Actually, didn't need a punter, but got a backup punter now, I guess.
Honestly, I could see that being a battle. I really could.
It will be.
I think you have to improve. I mean, you just have to.
Mm-hmm.
We've had way too many special teams blunders, and Coach Disher, I know that he's gonna change things. I know that we've had guys who have had the title of special teams coordinator, but it was really by committee. But I think Coach Disher is going to change that.
And what I'm really excited to see is Cameron Hawkins, to see how it's different. Kicking at Baylor, still pressure. It's still college football, but it's not Ohio State versus Michigan pressure. It's not playoff pressure that you're going to get when you're kicking. So it'll be interesting to see how he does under pressure. That's where I really want to see the defining moments for a kicker. Are you going to shank it against Georgia in a playoff game? Are you going to shank it in the Big Ten championship game a pooch kick? Because that can happen. That pressure can really boil down, especially on a kicker. Because a kicker is a different type of position, man. It's only you and the goalpost, kind of.
Kicking is the most mental game, the most mental position in the game of football.
Now, if we can find a kicker that was a wrestler, we're solid.
It is absolutely 100% mental, and I think that Hawkins. Obviously, I don't know the guy, but I think that he's going to have what it takes. I think that he's a very talented kicker. You didn't see him miss a whole lot at Baylor, but no, I think that they're addressing kicker. They've gotten a couple of long snappers. They've gotten a punter, and you're adding some speed in the receiver room. There's going to be plenty of candidates for returners. You lost Caleb Downs. You still have Jeremiah Smith, who
he returns. I'm interested to see if maybe Legend Bay is going to be
that
a
would be
returner.
interesting.
Yeah.
Turbo Rogers, he has a history of returning kicks, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But I think that special teams is definitely something that needed addressed, and it has been addressed.
So we got that. Any other information about the football team before we move on? Because we got to talk a little bit about basketball, don't we?
We definitely do. I think we've pretty much covered all that we can about football.
Yeah. So with basketball, they don't have a lot of games left.
You have about 10 games left,
and they got to prove it they got to prove that they're tournament ready. This has got to be a tournament team, right? It's got to go to the NCAA tournament. If not, does Diebler have a job after the season?
I could see it going either way, but here's what you have. You have the final year of Bruce Thornton, who has given this program everything.
Mhm.
Bruce Thornton has been a guy that has stepped in from day one and has been such a culture fit.
Mhm.
And it would be only right if we could get him to the tournament for the first time in his senior season. You have 10 games left. 6 of those games are against ranked opponents. I think any of those 10 games, minus Michigan, are winnable. And even Michigan, who knows? An upset is common in college basketball.
Mhm.
But you have 10 games to prove yourself. Right now, they're seen as more of a bubble team
Mhm.
where they could make it, maybe not. But
What's the place in the Big Ten? I think that has more to do with it, where you're at, because you only get like 7 teams typically from the Big Ten, maybe 8, 9 at best.
well, the Big Ten tournament is going to play a huge part in that too.
Yeah, but where are they at
Um,
in the
I-
standings right now? You
I'm
wanna
not
look
sure
that up?
exactly where they're at in the standings, but maybe look that up. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you're absolutely right. Playing in the Big Ten is you have an advantage there because of the competition.
Mhm.
You will be taken more seriously, and but yeah, uh, the basketball team. It's been a series of disappointment with Chris Holtman and now Jake Diebler, and I still believe in Diebler. I think that if you fire him, you better have a good replacement ready to go because he is a good coach, but he's not getting the results.
That's true. What's happened with Chicago's coach, Chicago Bulls?
So if you do
Is
fire Diebler, I think, and I've said this, if Billy Donovan were to get fired from the Chicago Bulls, I think that you throw
Mhm.
any amount of money that you possibly can at him to go back to college where he won 2 national championships with the Florida Gators. And we've had pretty good success with Florida Gators coaches coming to Ohio State.
Yeah.
You frozen up there, Steve?
Don't think that frees up. Can you hear me?
I think you're good
Really
now.
doubt Donovan's gonna come back. Yeah. So Yavi doesn't think Donovan's gonna come back to the college football ranks or college basketball ranks.
Certainly possible.
And we got who had some help.
9th in the Big
Ohio
Ten.
State's
Okay.
9th in the Big Ten.
Uh,
Ninth in the Big Ten, right behind Iowa, UCLA, and Wisconsin. So that Wisconsin loss was bad, but we got Wisconsin again at home, I do believe.
okay. Well, but yeah, I mean, they're going to have plenty of opportunities to prove that they are a tournament team. They're going to have plenty of
Mhm.
opportunities to show, hey, we belong here. Like I said, they're already on the bubble. They could make it, they might not. But Bruce Thornton deserves this, and I think most of all, that's what we have to remember is that Bruce Thornton has given this program everything, and he deserves a chance at making the tournament.
Mhm. Absolutely. So you have at Maryland coming up quickly. Tomorrow? Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah. And then you have just awful. But then you have USC, you have Virginia, number 18 Virginia. So that's going to be a little bit of a tough game. Wisconsin comes to town, Michigan State comes to town, Iowa comes to town. So you can catch up one spot on Iowa. I think that's a game you have to win. You have to
Yeah.
leapfrog some of these teams. You have to beat Wisconsin. You have to at least show you have a good game against Michigan. And they played them well at Michigan. So I think
They did. Yeah. It was a very
gonna be really-
competitive game.
yeah.
This schedule's brutal. The final 10 games. No doubt
It
about
is.
it. That is brutal. But it's a great chance to show what this team can do. It's going to be a great test. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and it's going to have to go a long way in order for Ohio State to make it to the tournament. 'Cause, a 4-year drought from the tournament,
Yeah, it's
That's
not good.
tough.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah. And this is Ohio State, too. I mean, it's not like they got to be one of the best 64 teams in the nation. I mean,
You would think so. You would think so. That's for sure.
all right. We got some in the locker room. Let's get to them. Yavi's been on here like crazy, man. Yavi's giving us some content. Here we go.
That's my guy right there. Yeah,
I know. When Ohio State is down 10, they look like the best team ever.
we were talking today at lunch. He was pretty excited for tonight's episode.
They do compete with
that's
everyone.
true.
That's the thing. You know, I don't think they play well with a lead either.
That's the argument that you could make against Coach Diebler. That is certainly a discipline. Yeah, we do remember Oral Roberts. We do. Yeah. That was dark, but
it's a dark moment.
A very dark moment. You could definitely pin that against Coach Diebler. He did.
Mm-hmm.
Yavi's an LSU guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Yavi likes to give Ohio State, kind of dig that knife in, doesn't he?
Yeah. I have to hear it every day.
Well, LSU's a basketball school, so
you could definitely pin the late losses on Coach Diebler. Absolutely. If Brydon gets healthy, do we think he makes the state championship? Absolutely. Both are incredibly talented wrestlers.
Absolutely. But Brayton said he wasn't wrestling this year.
Brayton is not wrestling, no.
Man, that was cool. That was cool to have them join. Kind of walk us through that process a little bit. Like some recruits, it has to be all about money. And he was like, no, man, it's about culture. They both kind of said that. It was about a fit. It was about development. Hearing that development process, something you got to hear from recruits these days, because that's something that gets overlooked, right? Because you want to be able to make it to the next level. Yeah, you can come in and make maybe a couple $1 million at a linebacker. You have to be really damn good to make in the $1 million range. That money gets blown through quicker than people realize.
Absolutely, yeah.
But if you get to the league and get to further your dream of playing NFL football,
you'll be making
$1 million, multi-million dollars, and then
multi-million.
That's money that you can save. That's money that you can pass on down the line and open a business afterwards, after football is over, whatever it may be. But
if a recruit told us that, hey, NIL is definitely a factor, wouldn't blame him at all.
Not at all.
Culture still needs to be considered. The right fit still needs to be considered. It's not just all about dollar signs. And I think that's where fans get a little upset with Ohio State whenever it comes to landing recruits. They're not getting guys that just want dollar signs. They're not just going to throw money back at the number one recruit, because we don't have to do that, because we already have the number one recruit, DJ Jacobs. So just getting those guys that understand, hey, it's not all about money. I think that's a lot more valuable, and that leads to winning.
Yeah, and let's be honest with ourselves. It's part of it.
Right.
It's got to be part of it. Like, you got to be within the ballpark range. And I think that's what Ohio State does well. They become within the ballpark range. If you're going to make it just about money, you're probably going to transfer.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to work out. So we don't want you. You want guys that want to be at Ohio State. You want players that know the long-term process, the development, the exposure you get. That's one thing, when they mentioned transferring to Akron Hoban too, you go there, you get more exposure, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Like Ohio State. If you're in the playoffs in high school football, and more importantly in college football, more people are watching, more eyeballs are on you, more.
Well, and I think
it's being seen, you get recognized more, NIL opportunities start to open up, and especially if you do well. And then more NFL scouts get to see you.
Yeah. I think it's the level of competition that draws these college coaches, and it makes you more ready for the NFL. Whenever you can play against the top guys in high school, in college, it gets you ready for the top league in the world. But yeah, NIL it's definitely a complicated subject. I think that, these guys deserve to get paid. Seattle Matt said, he mentioned that if you got offered more money at a job, you would take it. You'd be
Mhm.
crazy not to.
Mhm.
But you also have to consider the working conditions, culture. That is such a big factor, and I think that's where some of these recruits kind of get lost because they don't consider that. They're 18-year-old kids. I get it. I completely understand it. But
Mhm.
they need better guidance is what I'm trying to say.
And with Riston, we'll get to the locker room. Got a couple things in here that we got to get after. Riston thinks, NIL partially ruined recruiting for some recruits since they began money and not for the likeness of the
Yeah.
team.
And ultimately it's their choice, but certainly it would be interesting to see if money was not a factor, how some of those recruits would have played out.
Ohio actually approved NIL for the high school level, and that was done
Well,
last year.
so
And then has there been a change on the rule that?
there has been a change.
All right.
A couple of months ago, Jameer Brown, he proposed NIL.
Mhm. Yeah.
He wanted to make sure that it was a priority.
Mhm.
So they filed a temporary restraining order, and now that is up. And the state is once again proposing a ban towards Ohio high school athletes making money. Now,
Wow.
we've
Okay.
seen guys like Chris Henry Jr. leave the state. He
Mhm.
was at a Cincinnati school.
Mhm.
Trey McNutt, he left the state and went to
Mhm.
Oregon.
Mhm.
If Ohio is serious about keeping the in-state talent,
Mhm.
they will pass this bill.
Yeah.
If they still want high school sports to be at its peak,
Mhm.
they will pass this bill.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't know when that comes up. I haven't looked into that. It's
It, it
that's
was
new to me right now.
it was a brand new report,
Okay.
like
That
maybe yesterday.
yesterday. That's something I got to look up. Actually, I got to write that down. The NIL for
Yeah,
state of Ohio, because that's huge. That's
it
huge
is.
for Ohio
It,
State recruiting. That's huge for the state of Ohio. Just football in general. And Ohio has done some things that has ruined the chances for athletes at the high school level, particularly spring ball, because they're trying to protect
yes,
other sports. I think that's asinine. That's put so many other schools ahead of Ohio. And there's AAU for every other sport or something like it for every other sport. I don't know why there's not like an AAU football in the off season. I know it's
7-on-7,
yeah, I know there's a
7-on-7.
7-on-7 tournaments, but there needs to be something more organized and maybe even done outside the periphery of high school OHAA governing body, and
Well,
maybe
and I believe that 7-on-7 is still banned in the state of Ohio, but I'm not absolutely sure about that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just think that there needs to be some more consideration whenever it comes to NIL because when these big brands, these big companies can use these kids' names, they don't get a dime for it. That's ridiculous.
For sure.
That's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and
but
if you were a singer, an artist, you're allowed to make money. Why aren't you allowed to make money just because you're a football player
right,
or an
it's
athlete? You can make money for any other possible reason. Like, so they're not going to say, all right, drama club members can't be on a commercial because you're in drama club in high school. Makes
right,
no damn sense. Like, you're
right.
artificially restricting the market for people just because they're playing sports. That should be illegal.
Yeah, to me, it's absolutely ridiculous. I think that these kids are so talented, and I think that they deserve to get paid because an injury could ruin their chance at college sports.
Yeah, and I
That's the
think
reality.
I do think Yavi's right. The 7-on-7 in the off season, as far as I know,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
is legal. There might be some restrictions on if you're practicing with your coaches and things of
I
that
gotcha.
nature. Yeah. And Mika, haven't seen Mika in here in a while. Thanks for joining us, Mika. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
They allow some 7-on-7 events, and that's my understanding of it. It is limited, but I think it's only summertime. I don't know if they're in the spring or not, though.
Okay.
I know there's summertime 7-on-7s, but and depending on if it's school sponsored or not, if it's not school sponsored, then you can do anything that you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, it is restricted.
Yeah, then that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that we did
I
not
don't
cover?
I think that's a good off-season show, man. 50 minutes of
Good
Buckeye
stopping point.
pleasure, and we got some Buckeye recruits on the show. So good work getting that started, Cody. And Buckeyes in the NFL. So
Yes, we do need to talk about that.
we do need to talk about Travion Henderson. You know,
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, JSN, and Ibuka, man. I mean, this guy stood out like a sore thumb in the NFL, first of all. And second of all, two of them are off to trying to win a Super Bowl.
And that's really what I want to touch on is the Super
Mhm.
Bowl. You have 4 Buckeyes actually participating. You have Mike Vrabel at head coach,
Mhm.
Thayer Munford, O-line, Patriots, and then you have Trey, and then you have JSN. Obviously, it would be really cool to see Trey go back to back, but I think I would like to see JSN get that ring. Hey, no worries. No worries at
Mika,
all.
no problem. Hey, I know you watch them on, after they've been recorded live. So whenever you can join us, more pleasure, and we appreciate having you. And someday we're going to get a show together because I know you wanted me on your show before, but it didn't work out timing wise. But hey, it's the off season. Hopefully we can get something worked out.
But I think for me it would be really cool to see JSN get a ring because he never did in college.
Yeah, that would be cool. Are you rooting for the Seahawks?
No, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Very sad to say that, but
But you are.
But no dog in the fight. No dog in the fight.
For sure. I guess I kind of want the Patriots just because there's more Buckeye flair there, and
Fair
that's the
enough.
way I'm going to lean. I do want to see JSN do good and wish him the best, and like seeing him play all year.
Yeah.
Possibly offensive player of the year.
Yeah. Oh, I think that you're going to see him win Offensive Player of the Year.
You think he will?
I think he will. 100%. 100%.
Even beyond some of the quarterbacks that are up for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that Trey could make it interesting for Offensive Rookie of the Year. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Against Ibuka, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah, those are 2 guys that could absolutely win it. I think that Trey, he hasn't had the volume, so I'll give Ibuka the edge, but we'll see what happens.
All right, we'll have to message you again, Mika. But thanks again, everyone, for joining us here. Go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the share, follow us both. Go follow Cody. Cody, what's your handle again?
You can follow me at Boomin Buckeyes. There is no G on the end of Boomin.
That's a good point.
We'll have to make a graphic for that during the pre-show. Put our social media.
I put it in the comments so that at least people go on there, get a share.
All right. Well, I think that about covers.
Yeah, awesome.
Things.
All right. Thanks for joining us. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll be back probably next Wednesday about 9:30.
Go Bucks.
Take care. OH.
I-O.